Goose Pond, as you can see from the sign, it says Fisherman Access. The state has put in a new boat ramp. Notice the dock they've given us here, this wonderful log.
We're not sexist. It could be fisher women,
just
fisher transgender.
Stop it. Stop that.
No,
that's inappropriate.
No, it's not. We're just, anybody can fish.
All right, so here we go. Goose Pond action. My brother Steve and me. We'll see what happens. Goose Pond is in the High Berks. It's a High Berk lake. It gets stocked by the state. It's got a lot of trout in it, as the state likes to stock trout. But it's also known for having a nice population of large and smallmouth bass. And there's not a lot of lakes in Massachusetts that have got that, moniker that it can say. Not a lot. Yeah, an osprey going down to hit the water right in front of us. My brother Steve is already making the bird calls. He doesn't care.
They haven't been back for about...
He's already laying it down.
About a month?
He's already laying down the bird calls.
You know, they like to nest in...
So ospreys migrate? You're telling me? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, they hunt fish stands, so in the winter...
It's frozen, right, so what are they going to do?
But they also can...
So where do they go?
They go south down in southern states and then down into the Caribbean.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're snowbirds.
They actually can starting to make nests in cell phone towers.
Are you serious?
Yeah. There's actually 2 in West Springfield.
Oh, that's good.
Right,
that's good to hear.
Right off 91.
He's got one. He hauled in a largemouth. Look at him. Were you jerking it? Like, yeah. Look at him. Look at him. Look at Steve go. He's got me 1-0 right now. Grab the lure. Pull him out by the lure. Yeah, you remember. Yep. Look at him lip the fish while the fish is in the water. That's very good. A little largemouth, nice looking. Now, of course, I just was saying we should go down the lake, but now I'm saying yes. He's on fire. I gave him this jerkbait with what looks like a perch right here. He's just... He's got a massive bluegill. He doesn't care. He's going multi-species today. Yes!
Oh, fish are fine, Steve.
That's funny. Show us the bluegill now.
Well, gotta get him off the hook,
He's got to get him off the hook, he says. Look at the size of that bluegill. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got one. Oh, yeah. Look at the size of this perch. It's a multi-species day. And another perch followed him in. Look at that perch. That is a whopper.
A massive perch.
Oh, on the jerkbait, massive yellow perch. Oh, yeah. Look at him. Now, if you could get that for your fish tank, tell me you wouldn't get that for your fish tank.
Beautiful fish.
They're beautiful in the water. Oh, he's on. Yes. Largemouth on the peeper. Smallmouth. Oh, he got off on the peeper. Largemouth. Not a bad-looking little guy. Chubby.
No, chubby.
So the peeper just pointed out that we are on, in fact, a south-facing shore, which I always talk about being critical in the springtime. The water temperature on this shore is, we're on a south-facing shore, and over here we have a north-facing shore, right? So the sun is always on this shore as the day goes by, from when the sun comes up in the east over here to when it goes down in the west behind me, right? The sun is always on this shore. and that is going to raise the water temperature substantially in the early spring. It only takes a couple of degrees to make all the difference, right? Get the fish in the feeding mood.
And Stan, this area is perfect overwintering what is called a hibernaculum for snakes.
Oh yeah, I would imagine you'd have the potential for rattlesnakes, and because it's a south-facing slope, right? So it's going to stay warm, right?
All those rocks that can go down and find a spot that's going to be.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is why I bring my brother, because he's a natural historian more than I am. I mean, I'm not a bum with it, but this is what he spent his life doing. He just was on a bird trip this morning. If he hadn't been on the bird trip, we'd be on Lake Champlain right now. But that's okay. This is just as good. Well, I don't know if it's just as good, but we're catching fish, so that's pretty cool. And it's about doing what you can do in the time you've got to do it, right? I got a little largemouth today. Healthy. He's got this thing about taking the fish off in the water. The osprey came flying over you because it saw that you had a fish. He's a little fat guy.
A little bit smaller than the last one.
He's a little fat guy, yeah. I heard he's a real. Okay, I got one. We got a largemouth, a very small largemouth. Yeah. I'll tell you, the fish in here are generally in good shape. If you look at them, they got good color, and they're not, they're not starving. They're in good shape as fish go. So we're going through the channel that connects Goose Pond to Upper Goose Pond, and this is a pretty cool little area. When the water's the right level, you can take your power boat up here, but sometimes in the middle of the summer, you probably don't want to do that. The Appalachian Trail crosses, what would this be, the east end of the lake. So right up here, notice that island out there. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
And the Appalachian Trail.
Just one house here?
Yeah, there's an Appalachian Trail house here, and I don't think that's it right there. I think it's up at the other end. Maybe that's it there, though. I don't think so. No, look at that. So right here, protected little bay. There's not a lot of wind here. This is a good spot for us to throw our jerkbaits. Yes! Look at the size of that perch. Oh, he's off. See, there's an example of trout, right? So we're casting and we're not getting them, and that, I'm trolling this stupid thing, and trouts come shooting out of the water. He just comes shooting out of the water and attacks.
Just the right speed or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. You can see the marker on the island that probably delineates either the Appalachian Trail crossing here or a border between communities, Tyringham and Lee, for instance. That would make sense.
It might say that George Washington.
George Washington slept on that island. That's a possibility. Or that island was a stop on the Underground Railroad. That's another one.
Yeah.
Look across over there. There's an osprey, and there's a bunch of Appalachian Trail huts, right? For the Appalachian Trail, which comes from the north and then up the lake and continues on its southerly journey. Show us. What we got here?
It's a goose nest.
Show us.
This is a goose nest.
So there's geese in there.
There's eggs. You can feel them.
Well, show us.
It's really warm.
Oh, there they are. Look at that.
But you don't want to.
We don't want to mess with them, but those are geese eggs.
Yeah, and it's really warm in there.
Wow. So the mother goose has got to be around. She's not happy with us, I'll tell you.
No. What are they doing?
What is that for? It's got to mark like Tyringham and Lee coming together. Here we go. I hope it's got to be a perch. Please. Please. Please be a perch. Darn it! It's a bass. Just can't win today.
The perch you caught before was a keeper.
The one you caught was a keeper, too.
Well, I didn't get him in.
Because you scared him. You were thinking about keeping him. A couple of bald eagles right there at Goose Pond, chasing each other around. It's such a nuisance. Goose Pond leg of the Appalachian Trail is readily accessible if you're willing to take the scenic route, park on Route 20 next to Greenwater Pond, and there's a nice parking lot there, and you'll cross the Mass Pike by an elevated bridge, ascend the mountain, and then down you'll go to Goose Pond and eventually hit the trail house. Now, the Appalachian Trail was the brilliant idea of Brendan McKay, but many others helped, and all were inspired by the immortal Theodore Roosevelt, our great environmentalist president. But the trail runs from Mount Katahdin in Maine all the way to Springer Mountain in Georgia, and millions of people have hiked portions of it. Every year, a few hardy souls will make the through hike. They say a couple thousand people a year will get that done. And our man Beetroot has got that set in his sights.